Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the latest webinar in the Independent Gym series. I'll try to keep track of how many we've done, but I've completely lost it, if I'm honest. It's been a long summer, I'm sure you'll agree. So today's webinar is a bit of a double header, I suppose. So the obvious subject is we're looking at secondary spend. It's been something we looked at a couple of times recently, but this time we're looking at it from a retail perspective. Obviously, Grenade are a huge brand. We've got these guys hosting today. They work across a huge number of sectors, so it's not just the gym world. So it's going to be interesting to see from there. And we're also drawing a winner or two places for the Grenade Takeover as well, which you guys are going to explain a bit more about. We've got Steve and Dan hosting for today. I'm going to let them do the honours and introduce. Obviously, if you've got any questions as we go, fire it into the chat and we'll read and go from there, or just unmute yourself and fire away. So yeah, on that note, let's hand over to the guys and see what they've got to say. Over to you guys.
Hi guys, so as Rob introduced there, myself, so I'm Dan and Steve. So I look after trade activation for Grenade across all the channels, so obviously focusing here on the sports channel, and Steve heads up our sports channel. Background, what you?
Yeah, just everything and anything in the gym and leisure world. So whether it be distributors, whether it be vendors, whether it be wholesalers, independent facilities, stage chains, everywhere our products appear in this sector is my world. So yeah, we're pretty well versed.
Cool. Yeah, so everybody's here today, Bruce. Give some background information, share our knowledge around sort of how to maximise secondary spend, obviously using our products as an example, but hopefully just give you a really good feel of what the possibilities are and what the opportunities that's out there. So in terms of the areas we're going to cover, so obviously we'll introduce ourselves a little bit further and sort of relationship with independent analysis came about, but then also obviously the importance of secondary spend within your clubs, the range that we have on offer, both from our bars through to our drinks, where to buy these from, where the best possibilities are to get these products are, and then obviously the profit opportunity for you, along with how to maximise that with your sales in your club. So in terms of Grenade ourselves, so we're obviously a big brand within the sports nutrition world. So we've been around for over 10 years now. Obviously previously in the very sports nutrition based products such as the thermodetonate, which we're most known for, but more recently moved into sort of the active range where our bars and our shakes are. We are the UK's #1 best-selling protein bar brand. I've been for several years now. So yeah, we've got a really popular range of products that we're well known for across multiple channels. Again, sort of introducing myself and Steve in terms of our roles. But yeah, we've both been with Grenade for several years now, 2-3 years, and we've just seen the business sort of evolve. Very much from the sports background, but now really into that sort of mainstream, which obviously helps the products and helps the visibility of the proteins. As a category, but also as a product for fewer members, being synonymous with the I guess your facilities. We've really got involved with the independent gyms more through the COVID situation, climate. As you see on the right, we campaigned to keep gyms open. It's something that we felt personally we needed to do, but also to help you guys out with your facilities. We saw the benefit of the gyms being open. We knew the research that backed it up, and we personally as a brand, but also as individuals, felt that we had to take that on and see hopefully that message spread far and wide, and hopefully you see the benefit that we are behind you as a channel, and in terms of independence, it's very much a big part of our business and a big part of our focus and moving forward, that we want to focus on really.
And that's just where we sort of reached our conversation started with independent gyms. As Dan said, we're at the national chains, etc., but actually and fundamentally, the independents are a hugely important sector to us. The majority of the distributors that I work with, their customers are independents as opposed to chains who we potentially deal with directly or more directly. So it's a huge part of the wholesale makeup in the UK of whom are my customers, and we want to work very closely with those independents and you guys.
We identified this relationship sort of last year and really building it on now, in terms of working with Rob and his team and everyone that's worked together to create this group. We're happy to sort of really be a part of this and be a strategic leader with you to keep building, keep growing that knowledge and education, which obviously hopefully this session will help. So in terms of the importance of secondary spends, this is why it really is. We did some research when we first joined the group, and we found that 1/3 of independent gyms don't offer a protein bar or shake for sale in their facility. This obviously shocked us, in that we thought this would be fairly something that most gyms would be aware of. But again, we've really opened our eyes to how we can help and how we can educate you guys and how we can support. Obviously, this is what we do in terms of selling bars and shakes. We want to be able to help you spread that knowledge and really help you get that understanding of why and how, really. So in terms of the difficulties you guys are obviously facing, we know that there's rising cost of utilities at the minute. We know you've got member retention, people have difficulties in terms of people choosing what they want to spend the money on, what they can spend their money on. So we want to help. We see that secondary spend can help with that. And also the perceived value of a membership. So we know, the members will be coming into your clubs and almost now expecting to see a product that's for sale, such as a protein bar or protein shake or an energy product. They're seeing them at petrol stations, they're seeing them in their supermarkets, and you almost really, you go into a gym and you almost expect to see these types of products there. So we recognise that these problems are. And I'm sure there's many more, and you'll be far more aware of them than we are. But we see the secondary spend can help with these problems in terms of generating that extra revenue, but also increasing the value of your memberships that you offer. So this really, again, is maybe look a bit of a complicated graph at first look, but really this is just to show that the protein bar sales are resilient. So this is a graph that shows where COVID began. So this dotted dashed line. So as you can see, it was in a healthy state. It then dropped significantly, obviously, with gyms closing, with high streets, supermarkets, everywhere else changing their focuses on what they were selling during the COVID period. But you saw a real steady return, obviously, with the several lockdowns that followed. But to the point now where we're up here in the blue line. So this is total market, total protein bar sales. They did see a very significant dip, which with what was going on, you'd expect. But due to the resilience of the category, it's now back higher than it was before pre-COVID. And as you can see, it's taken a bit of a dip now, which is more of a seasonal thing. We'd expect to see that to continue to grow. So protein bar sales are resilient. They are a product that people are continuing to buy, despite having challenges with their income and their expenditure. They will continue to purchase these products. So as we said before, in terms of your members are buying these products elsewhere, so really why would you not have them in your facility for sale? So as we said, through the mainstream growth of these products, they're available in supermarkets, available at petrol stations, which we're hoping has obviously grown the awareness and the understanding of these products. They're not just going to, it's not a miracle cure to gain muscle. It's just a healthy snack or a post-workout treat that can obviously help with your nutrition. So we're hoping that by having them products available in more mainstream channels obviously helps members then recognise that these products that they should be buying, obviously, when they come to your facility. So in terms of knowing the range, this is the product that we're really talking about here. So this is an opportunity here at pre-workout. So this is an energy product. So again, we're using our products here as an example. Obviously, there's multiple energy products out and available, but this is the typical occasion where you've got a member coming into the gym that's either been wrestling with the kids at home, or has been working, or is up early. So it's an opportunity here to sell an energy product when they first come into your facility. There's then obviously the post-workout occasion. So this is where the bars and the shakes come in, or you can have a bar or shake before a workout, but typically post-workout. It's an opportunity then to sell these products to your members as they're leaving. we see very much that it's an impulse purchase. So as you're typically walking out, you'll see the product, you'll pick it up and purchase it. So yeah, it's very important here to try and create these occasions and have a need, have a product for the need, both when members arrive at work for a workout and also when they're leaving. In terms of our range, we've got multiple flavors. We've got 14 in total, but we very much focus on sort of a core range of 6. So these are our best sellers across multiple channels. These are the ones that work, and yeah, these most popular that work across different environments and retailers. But salted caramel always stands out as the number 1. So that's the top left. And yeah, through over 10 years that we've been selling these products, we've reformulated them, made them taste better, and we'll continue to do so. And it's a case of you may have had a flavour that was sold poorly previously. We may have reformulated that since, and it may taste even better now. So definitely make note of the best selling flavours, as these are the ones that will support you guys.
It's the same with the shakes and the energy. We do 6 flavors of RTDs, the ready to drink shakes. Our 3 core flavors are there in order. White chocolate is number 1 typically. Fudge not far behind it. Strawberries and cream not far behind that. Again, we do offer 6. Like you said, if it's a case, we almost put them in rank order. So if you only had space for 1 or 2, then we'd certainly help out with what 1 or 2 flavors we recommend you should list. The really important thing here is whether you like the flavour or not, because a lot of people only actually stock what they like, and we always say deviate away from that, because essentially it's what the market data is telling us and what are the best sellers throughout all the categories. And with our energy drinks as well, we have 3 flavours, but again, if you're going to be stocking 1 flavour, cherry bomb is the number 1 flavour, closely followed by berry delight. There's got 2 core flavours in that. So if you're thinking about where you can purchase these products, as you say, we're widely distributed, but places that you're going to be familiar with, hopefully, within this industry, you've got typical cash and carry, so the likes of Booker or Costco, just to name but a few. There's lots more out there. They have a ready supply of majority of our products, not necessarily the entire range, but certainly a good proportion of, and certainly the majority of the core range that we've just discussed. Then you come on to something like the online distributors who I look after, so any sport-specific distributors. So we've got 2 examples there: Muscle Finesse, Tropicana. There's lots more. There's Active Sports. There's Body Shocker. Again, there's half a dozen or a dozen other wholesalers that carry pretty much the majority of our range in this case, and the prices are all much. And then we have the vending operators. Again, there are multiples. We're just listing 2 or 3 here, but the likes of NutriVend or Supplements for Sport or Energy Vending. So you've got multiple avenues from which to actually purchase our products. Some of the avenues you may already be going into yourself already, with regards to like Bookers and the Costco's, for example. So again, the trade-off is, people come to us sometimes and say, I look after sport, as I've said. Some people say, well, your shakes are slightly cheaper in Costco. And they are. Costco work on a very slim margin. So I always say, it kills me to say it, but actually Costco only currently carry 2 of our shakes and 2 of our bars. And what people are now doing, they are more savvy, so they are shopping around. So it might be that they get a particular product from cash and carry, or then they might get other products from the sports distributors, and they might get other products from like a vending operator. So people are now certainly shopping around, and we obviously can't control what people sell our products out at. It's completely their domain, and Costco's model is to work on very, very low margins, but they actually only do have 2 bars and 2 shakes. So the trade-off is, yes, you might be saving a few pennies, but then you've got to obviously go there, pick the products up and then drive back, whereas the other distributors, where you're vending online, are end-to-end, so you may pay a little bit more, which actually, when you look at the saving over a case of products, is probably very nominal, but you're getting an end-to-end service, so you pay your price and it's delivered pretty much within 24 hours. So if we're looking at profit availability on bars, just giving a simple case study. So going through one of the sports distributors at the moment, currently prices for our bars throughout the sports distributors, again, it varies very slightly, but give or take, it's $14.99 plus VAT, so it comes to $17.98 for a case of 12. Our SRP on the bars is $2.85. This is very loosey-goosey. we've seen bars being sold for 220, 230. We've seen bars being sold for 310, 315. You're clearly going to sell more at a lower value, but ultimately that 285, you should be very, very confident that you can maintain that sort of value. I think when we did an analysis across the total business, I think when you compared our products to other companies, our actual average selling price across the entire business was only about 20 pence lower than the suggested retail value. So it just goes to show the strength of the brand, the strength of the price that consumers regularly pay for our products. And when you look at that for a case, so it's 34.20. If you look at 285 a bar, that would give you £16.22 cash margin and 47% margin on that one box. And again, with the shakes, a very similar breakdown. So this is what typically is no VAT on the shakes. So the price is what you pay. You see 13.11 currently, sell at 2.75, total of £22, 8.89 margin and 40% percentage margin. That's for a 330ml shake. Although in this environment, in the gym world, we go on to our other variant, which is the bigger, more protein, 38 gram, which is a 500ml variant. And you actually make more margin on this. There's only 6 in a case as opposed to 8, but actually you make more cash and percentage margin on this. And most gym goers do prefer that larger hit of protein. Finally, when we look at the energy, again, another case study, it's going to return you 40% margin, £10 a case, SRP 199. Again, just as an example, lots of facilities. I know, for example, Pure Gym pricing on this is £2.50. So again, it's a suggested retail price, but I've seen them low, I've seen them high. It's totally governed by your audience, but ultimately, if you use that as a steer, that suggested retail price, you won't go far wrong. Again, you'll be making £10 cash profit on a case of 12. So if we're looking at rate of sale, and this is the thing that sort of came up as well in the survey, is that a lot of people sell products, whether it be ours or some of our competitors' products, but actually, are they really in touch with the rate of sale of that product? And the answer, came back regularly as no, they weren't. So if I said, well, what is the rate of sale of that product? It was like, well, they couldn't give me an answer. So we've broken it down here for complete simplicity. So you can just see what a box would, over the course of a year, or selling a certain amount per week, per month, per year would look like. So let's assume you stock 6 of our flavors. So our core 6, for example, that we just touched on, let's say they have a rate of sale of 4. So that's quite simply means you're just selling 4 of that particular flavor per week. Times it by 6, because you're carrying 6 flavors, it would be 24 bars sold every week. That obviously equates going to a month quite crudely. It's approximately 96 to 100 bars sold each month. And then if you're looking at that across the year, it's it's 1152 bars throughout the year, which equates to, going back to where we were a couple of minutes ago with the profit per case per box, that would just give you £1,600. So quite simply, just selling 4 of each flavour of the 6 that you stock per week would return £1,600 profit per year.
We've said that rate of sales for is fairly conservative. That could be, again, depending on your facility. You might have a more affluent membership base that may put that rate of sale up. You may have fewer members, but there may be particular fans of protein bars. So again, rate of sale of 4 is pretty typical of the channel, but equally that could stretch and that could grow into much higher numbers.
Similar breakdown with the rate of sale of the shakes, just for simplicity. So shakes in this channel is the only channel out of all the channels that we sell in that actually shake sales are higher than bars. So we've given, again, a very conservative rate of sale of 8. Again, across the 3 core flavors, you may choose to stock more, in which case obviously this will be higher. We've just done a 6 for the bars out of the 14 flavors we do. We've just done a 3 on the shakes out of 6 flavors that we do. 24 shakes sold a week, that would equate again to 96 per month. And again, for the year, 1152, same numbers, and then £1,300 profit. So if you were to just stock 6 of our bars and 3 of our shakes, you're looking at combined total of just under £3,000 pure profit just for listing something that your members are already familiar with, that they will be purchasing from high street, from the petrol, from convenience, from the malts, online possibly, from the supermarkets definitely. But the fact that it's an impulse purchase and you happen to have that product there displayed, could result in that. And these numbers are very conservative with the rate of sales down.
Then we recognise obviously this profit can be reinvested into the business, obviously offset some of the energy costs you'll be seeing, some of the staff costs, rent, many of the costs that will be out there that will be in the business. But what we're just trying to identify is that is what we would see as a fairly easy £3,000 for you to make, just by, as Steve says, just having product there, having it available, and just having it there for members to buy from your facility, rather than having them go down the road to another store where the products will be sold. Then in terms of having that product on your shelf and available, how do you maximise that? How do you support that to make that rate of sale grow even higher? So very simply, be seen, be sold. So these are products that are impulse purchases. So these are products that people will pick up if they see them. It may not be a considered purchase. Someone would perhaps go into the gym, wanting a protein bar. They may just feel, oh, now I've seen one, I'll pick one up. So very much where you've got counter space, where you've got members being signed up, have the products available there to talk about it. And in terms of point of sale, it's not, one thing just to have the product there laying on the counter. We offer different points of sale, such as the unit on the right, which are big and bold and really help the product stand out, and have it visible for your members to see when they're in the facility, when they're leaving the facility. More chances that they see it, the more chances there is that they'll pick it up and purchase it. In terms of the drinks are always best served chilled, goes without saying. However, it's important to have these products available in a chiller where possible, and having them cold served. It tastes better. It's just a better experience to pick up a drink when it's chilled. So definitely would recommend any drink sales to be from a chiller. We've just got our POS email address at the bottom there. We offer different points of sale for different environments, big and small. We know you may be tight on some space and around your counter, so we factor that in. So we've got different things that you can use that can be clicked up, etc. around your facilities. So definitely get in touch with the address at the bottom. All the point of sale is free, and we'll send that out to you as soon as you request it. There's some more tips. Again, just having the best range available. So the 6 flavors we talked about earlier, it's important to have these ones as a core. We know we've got multiple flavors. Brands have got other flavors available. Having them core flavors, then the white chocolates, the salted peanuts, the salted caramels, the core flavors is important to have ticked off and available, because these are the flavors that people are looking for and picking up and purchasing across multiple channels. So and again, this just leads on from what we said earlier in terms of swapping out for performers. We often talk to clubs that have tried our product or tried another brand's product and said it's not sold well. And typically when we get into the conversation, we realise they were selling a flavour that few people like, or perhaps the manager liked it, but their members didn't. So it's important to sort of be subjective and step back and look at what are the best sellers, even if I don't like it, if my members like it, kind of view. So definitely ensure you're selling the best performers before you're giving up on selling products altogether, or to different brands, different products, different flavors. Make sure you've got the best ones, and we're obviously here to help and support with what ones are.
And another point, a really valid point on and around that as well, is cannibalization. Is another kind of reason that our product may not sold well previously. So again, if you've got our products and other competitors' products side by side, vary the flavors. There's absolutely no point at all having a white chocolate sorted flavor from our range and a white chocolate sorted peanut from one of our competitors. Either have one or the other, because again, all that's going to happen is just one's going to cannibalize the sales of the other one. So try and make whatever range you stock, whether it be Grenade or any of our competitors, as varied as possible for your members. It's pointless having 3 strawberry milkshakes or 3 flavors of strawberry variant from 3 competitors, for example. Try and maximize the flavors so that if you were to mix and match between us and some competitors, that you've got a complete varied range.
And in terms of new, we know members and customers love new, so anything that's new that comes out, it's always worth a try, and see if if it does stick. And yeah, we'll have multiple new flavors coming out over the next sort of 12 months or so. So definitely keep an eye out for those. And some final tips, again, trial drive sales, letting members try the range. Again, coming back to the new, people sometimes will fall back to what they know. So always, where possible, offer a trial, a sample, and just get people to taste and trying them. We typically see around 70% of members of customers that try our products will then go on to purchase regularly. So that's why we heavily sample, heavily get people trying the product. Again, to just see how good they taste, and that can typically seen across most products in our range. So definitely, where possible, have trial available, and that can again be through sampling sessions. That can be through again cutting bars up and chopping up and having them available on your counter for people to try. But it could also be through promotions, so a buy one try one type promotion. Or just having them available at a cheaper price. Obviously, it's completely up to you what you sell at. But yeah, we see that typically promotions work well just to get people into the habit of trying something different rather than falling back to what they know and what they trust.
And all the sampling events we actually ran last year in this group as part of prize raffle, wasn't it, that were drawn throughout the year sporadically. I think there was over a dozen sites that participated in it, and the feedback from all of those sites were, I've met various owners at various exhibitions and stuff since, and they just said the evening was such a success. It went down a storm. Their members were really actively involved with it. They tried flavors that they hadn't previously tried before. They tried flavors that they wouldn't have necessarily purchased unless they'd sampled it, because the flavor might not have sounded particularly enticing to them, but actually when they've sampled it and then subsequently go on to purchase the flavor. And again, it's a good steer. A lot of your independents, you get to know your members on a very personal level, which is got far more personability than a lot of the estates and the major gym chains, and that's the beauty of the independent sector. So again, listen to your members. Put surveys out. What would they? Do you currently stock what they want? Is there anything? Are there any flavors from the range that you sell that they'd like to see? To involve them more in that sampling that we did. Throughout the independent gym group last year. As I say, the feedback was excellent, and it all came down to that. Trial to conversion from tasting and sampling event.
Yeah, and we'll be looking to do more sampling events over the next year or so as well. So obviously, if you're interested, just get in touch with Rob or ourselves. We'll see what we can get underway in the next year or so. So in summary, why wouldn't you? Again, these products, as we said before, being bought and purchased in retail outlets all over the country. When they walk into a gym, these customers they do now expect this product to be available, whether it's our product or another brand. They expect to see protein bars, protein shakes, energy products available in your facility. So hopefully some of those tips will have helped. Obviously, we're available for more support where needed. If you've got any questions, then feel free to fire into the chat or to follow up.
Fantastic, guys. Thank you very much for that. David, I don't know if you've got any questions. You're unmuted, so feel free to jump in. I've been scribbling down as we go, like I always do. And as I scribbled them down, you pretty much answered everything as we went. So I suppose it's more of a chat and a statement, really. I think the thing for me is whatever secondary spend we look at, we've got to remember people don't come to our facilities because they want to go and buy protein bars. They come to work out. So this is all secondary in the name, isn't it? It's one of those, it's all impulse purchases. So it's, for me, I like the phrase "be seen, be sold." If you haven't got this stuff in, quite simply, you can't sell it. If it's tucked behind reception, they can't see it, they won't know about it. For me, it's all about having it visual, creating the display, however big your facility you have and reception size. It's about creating that display, but then also talking to your members as they're coming through and almost upselling every visit, asking them if they're having a drink, are they having a shake, are they having a bar as they come through? Because otherwise, they'll just walk straight past it. So for me, it's all about creating that buzz and then giving the upsell as and when members are coming through the door. So I don't know about your thoughts on that, guys.
We see a lot of when we talk to a lot of clubs around sort of sign up time. When you're signing up members, that's a key opportunity there to tell people, by the way, we have these products available. If you can give a bar or something or an offer on sign up, that always helps. But I think that's that's where you can get them into their mindset straight away before they've even had their first workout. You've got them in mindset of, I know that why gym sells these products. But yeah, as you say, Rob, just having the product available. This is where we just want to go back to the basics of just have the product on your counter. If it's not there, they can't buy it. So yeah, definitely 100% be seeing yourself.
Yeah, and it's relatively low risk. I mean, I feel that everyone could dip their toe in the water here. Like I say, irrespective of whether it's Grenade or a competitive brand, you know, I feel if you're not stocking, like Dan's said, you know, a protein bar or a protein shake or an energy drink or let's say shot for the sake of this world, you're just missing a trick really, because your customers will be actively using these products and looking for these products, and just to have them there, you know, even if you were to try 1 or 2 flavors, and we could certainly, as we've highlighted here, you know, steer you in the direction of what 2 flavors we'd recommend. Try a couple of boxes of bars, try a couple of cases of shakes. You know, the risk is, it's a nominal risk. You're going to sell them anyway, and just make a note of just how quickly they do sell. We've been very conservative with the numbers that we've provided, but even on a rate of sale of 4 on a case of bars, you know, it's only going to take 3 weeks to sell a box. So it's not, you know, you don't need any big outward spend to try this, and then to see where it works, and hopefully it will grow organically, and you know, you'll add more flavors to the range and add more products to the range as time goes on. But yeah, it's just a lost opportunity, Phil, if you're not stocking anything from anyone.
Yeah, definitely. And I think when you talk about your rate of sale there as well, if we drill down to how many visits per day a gym might get, if you've got 500 members and you're getting 100, 150 visits a day, if you can't get 5 of them to buy a bar each day, I think that should be such a simple number to hit.
Yeah, we simplified it there, just going on that rate of sale. You know, if you're not familiar with in the kind of sales jargon, but rate of sale typically is, you know, worked out on the amount of time someone picks that product up on a weekly basis. And like we've said, you know, we're saying, you know, if you had a box of our bars, we worked that out, that £1,600, whatever that worked out on the bars, of just 4 of those members picking up 4 bars over the period of a week. And like you just said, Rob, if you've got 500 or 800 members going through that facility week in, week out, you know, we're talking about 4 of them at some point. You probably, you know, you're going to have, if you've got regular buyers of this product, and most people are working out 2, 3, 4 times a week, you know, you might have the same member just buying that product 4 times, and that's your monthly tally that's going to get you to £1,600 a year. So that's to put it in perspective. You know, you only really need one fan of the product that will actually reach those numbers, and then you've still got, you know, 499 people to convince to pick one up as well. But that is it in layman's terms. It really is.
Yeah, definitely. And I hear some gyms that push close to 40% of their revenue comes from secondary spend, would be that consumables or be it clothing and so on as well. So I think there's such an opportunity here. The other thing that I suppose linking to the retail world, if we step out of the gym world and go to the retail world, the 2 things that pain me would be empty shelves and slow sellers, and not doing anything about those things. I think the same could almost be said in the gym world. Just because a flavour isn't particularly moving quick, don't stop ordering other products waiting to get your money back on that. It's almost cut a deal, get rid, and then buy the popular products. Yeah. So and don't leave the shelves empty, because that just, I always think if you walk past a restaurant that's no one's in it, you're not going to go in and buy it. If you walk past a restaurant that's busy, you're going to go in, you're going to be enticed. And I think the same would apply almost from a simple secondary spend within the gym. I think that's David's dog. He wants a Grenade bar.
Yeah, we've got so many flavors. When we speak to owners, now typically quote older flavors, and now, you know, they may have been selling those for years, and that's where we try to introduce the newer, better smelling, better tasting, better texture flavors, to say, look, you're missing out on this opportunity of just swapping a flavor out, could all of a sudden increase that rate of sale, because it's a more popular flavor, it's more well known, it's again better texture, taste, etc. So just a simple swap is, you know, even if you have been selling for years and you only order the same 4 flavors, just swapping those 4 flavors from 4 better sellers, you can increase your rate of sale that way, which is, again, it's just a habitual thing rather than having to change anything, too aggressive.
Definitely. And I think when you bring out a new flavour, and gyms can use this to their advantage, I think you'd still stick with your tried and tested. salted caramel all day long for me. That's never leaves the shelf. That's going to always be stocked. But every time a new flavour comes out, or even if a new flavour doesn't come out, but it's about picking different, bringing something different in that's new to the gym, and then it gives you a conversation. But have you tried the new bar? Grab one of those. I think people like to see new product. So whilst you keep your tried and tested, mix it in. If you could do 50-50 on a steady range and then sampling of new products, I think that will stimulate sales as well. And it just gets people into the mix of picking up a bar each visit. So
a lot of our new flavours are incremental. So as you say, you don't introduce a new flavour and it takes sales away from one of the others. So they'll be tried and tested and they'll continue to work, but those new flavours will bring new customers in.
Yeah.
New member purchases. So,
incremental was the word I was looking for. But you know this better than me. Yeah, definitely.
Don't be afraid to try a new flavour, and it doesn't have to be one in, one out. It can be.
And I think it's probably your lemon cheesecake bar was the perfect example, wasn't it? And we did that giveaway, but it ended up being that popular. We didn't have anything to give away, so we had to mix it up a bit. But I think when the gym's going to take advantage of that, pick up the new product and push it, run with it, and make some quick money to get them into the ecosystem of purchasing. Definitely. The last bit for me, I think the pre-workout scene, I think, has been huge. Intra-workout is starting to come in, but the pre-workout is massive. The grenade drinks are very much like an energy kind of drink, aren't they, in a way? But the shots are the one that's really starting to take fold. I think so. We see things like TNT shots are really popular. So I imagine there's people behind the scenes at Mondelez sort of coming up with a shot. So I look forward to that coming at some point. They're keeping quiet.
Yeah, without giving too much away, certainly it's on the radar. There are talks.
Excellent. We look forward to those. Brilliant. So that's everything I've scribbled down. That makes sense anyway. The last bit was I put vending for some reason, but you tipped in with NutriVend, Energy Vend, and there was another one, supplement for sports.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So they're kind of the three big brands. NutriVend are looking to partner with us moving forward as well. So you'll be able to look at the grenade product through that, which is cool. So yeah, that was literally all my questions, statements, if you like.
Yeah, and what the vending companies typically do as well. I mean, they will have their own models, but they work different from the distributors, or obviously the cash and carries. If you just go and collect yourself, in that they offer various levels of support. So it could be a fully supported. So there's no initial outlay. Sorry, they may put a machine in and then we do like a profit share. So they'll take a percentage of the profit. So it completely eliminates any risk on your side. Or there's a side where you might purchase the machine, in which case you'd have all the profit that comes in. And there's various other degrees of kind of various levels of sharing. And so it's, again, very minimal risk to even take on some of these products into the facility if you go in on an initial basis of really kind of, that shared revenue, because I can assure you that the vending operator will not be putting anything in that machine that doesn't sell, because obviously they're going to be getting a percentage of that as well, and that they'll know that just putting that machine into your facility will generate both them and you revenue.
And I think if you take NutriVend as an example, what I like about them now is they're that big. They're in, I'm going to say, Gym Group, Pure Gyms. They're in all of the chains, so they've got nationwide coverage, but they can see the stats about what people are buying as well. So it takes the guesswork out of it, but it also gives them figures as to when product is out of stock or coming into them, hitting a minimum quantity within a machine. So they literally do all the work for you. So if you're not confident from a retail perspective, something like a NutriVend solution, it would do it all for you, and it makes your life easy. So I think it's definitely something to look at.
Yeah, 100%. They'll, like I say, there won't be anything. We're heavily involved in the NutriVend kind of planogram in most of this nationwide estates throughout the UK, and the only reason why that is because of the rate of sale of our products. Like I said, they will not put any products in those machines that don't deserve to be there, because essentially it's dead wood in a vending machine. You've got guys and girls driving around the country filling them and replenishing them all the time. You don't want anything in there that when you get to the machine, you almost want empty spirals to refill the entire machine. There's no point going to a venue driving halfway around the country just putting 2 bars into a spiral of 15 when 13 of them are still sitting there. So
yeah, very, very popular. I really like the NutriVend setup, so look forward to working with those guys and Grenade in there as well. So there we go. David, any questions your end?
The only thing I can think of is it maybe worth doing like almost a meal deal where you get a a protein bar, protein shake, and maybe pre-workout for a reduced rate of price? Or
yeah, I guess for us that's where we come on to promotions in club, where by all means bundle deal, and if that's what your members are sort of turned on by, if that's what works for them, absolutely give it a try. If it increases trials, what may work is that you know people love the bars, or people love the shakes, but they may not be so aware or keen on the energy, or tried the energy before, so maybe bundle those two together as a buy one get one, 3 for 2 or something like that. So definitely try promotions in your facility and see if that works.
Cool. Cheers.
Yeah, and because the margins are so good, David, so like 40 to 50% we typically looked at back there, even if you were to do a 2+1, so buy a shake and a bar and receive a free energy, for example, you're still going to be on that occasion probably getting high 20% margins on that. So for the sake of offsetting some margin to get another product into your members' hands that they will then probably go on to purchase moving forward, it's actually quite a wise move.
Yeah, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Or even like a pick a mix scenario where exactly like we just discussed the sampling, they're familiar with certain flavors but not familiar with others, so they probably wouldn't buy that third or fourth or fifth flavor. A 2+1 or a 3+1 or whatever the mechanic looks like would probably enable them to do that. They'd buy the 2 or 3 flavors that they are familiar with, and then they'd probably take that punt on the free flavor being one that they haven't tried before. Again, that would be probably quite successful.
And I think from a scale point of view, to sell more bars and make more money, Gold Standard Nutrition, completely different product, but a lot of gyms tend to have a price per pot or a 3-4x price. And I see it in every gym up and down the country. And they see people buy 3, 4, 5, multiple pots of meals to take home. So they'll have one in the gym, but they'll take home with them. So I think something like that, particularly from a bar perspective, if you could do 3 for 6 or something along those lines without thinking of the numbers too much, I think that would just sell. It just gives you a higher throughput effectively and more profit. So I think it's all about getting creative, isn't it? It's not just about saying here's some bars, waiting for 50 points.
It is, and I'd certainly recommend any of these have more heavily promotional sort of earlier rather than later, because if you run the mechanics from let's say you've just started launching our products or stocking our products, and then actually going with some of these mechanics, far more people are likely to get involved with it rather than them potentially sitting there. And again, like you said, Robert, we've seen sell it. It needs to be seen to be sold, and if people aren't aware of it, you can at least sing and dance about it, put a few things on the socials, on your emails, however you communicate with your members that you're now potentially now stocking Grenade. You're going to have these bars and shakes and possibly energy on sale from this date, and we'll be running a percentage off promotion on anything purchased between this date or a 3+1. Or I think if you start with something strong like that, you're going to more likely get more people involved with it. And as we've just said as well, we will have lots of sampling slots available next year. So, by all means, reach out to either Rob or to even myself or to Dan, with regards to if you would like us to come to you to sample. Obviously, if we get hundreds and hundreds of people interested, we'd have to just again do what we always do and just put them in a raffle and then pick out a certain amount of people. But it's certainly one, it's a good entertaining evening, something that we share assets and create assets with, so you can put on all your socials saying that we'll be attending for a sampling evening. You'll have heavy football on the night, and again a few members will easily be able to sample possibly a lot of products and flavors that they haven't previously trialed.
Love it. Great work. Brilliant. Right. So I think that's the webinar part wrapped up. Let's quickly tip onto the prize draw in the Independent Gyms Takeover. Do you want to give a quick explanation of what that's going to be?
Yeah. So we got together earlier in the year to really crush out what this event could be. It's really us giving back to the Independent Gyms group, putting on hopefully a great event on the 8th of October. So it's going to be from Fierce Gym in Milton Keynes, where me and Steve are right now. So we're scoping out the final stages of the day today, so getting it ready. So what it is very simply sort of competition through the day, multiple different disciplines, completely open to all. we've had a fun day playing around with what we think will be the activities. Bit of everything in there. So strength, cardio, and everything in between. Endurance. So be a great day. It's basically going to be a setup of four members for each team, with the gym owner and then plus 3 of their members. We're hoping to have mixed groups, so it's again male and female split, and just a great day of competition, with the winner achieving, I guess, the inaugural Grenade Independent Gym crown, which will include sort of a year's worth of support from us. So that can include sort of chiller, sampling sessions, social support, and anything else that we can really help with for that facility. It's pre-start apparel, things like that. So really worthwhile taking part and hopefully winning. We'll have all of our sort of team down there on the day, some sort of big names and sort of people that can obviously chat to and pass on some advice, and hopefully a fun day. Got last slots available, so anyone that's viewed this webinar, obviously live or following it being uploaded, will go into a draw to win that last slot.
Fantastic. And all they've got to do to get in the draw is to email you. I was thinking they would just be getting to email dan.thorpe@grenade.com, and I think we just say what's their favourite flavour bar. They'll tell you their favourite flavour bar. That gets them in the draw.
Yeah, any flavour you choose, as long as it's a Grenade.
Yeah. If you mention another brand, you're out. That's it.
We're really looking forward to it. 8 contacts just over a month away, and say it should be good from there.
And we've made it. We've just been working through the programming all morning, and we're making it fully inclusive. So if your thing is strength, there's some bits in there. If your thing is, cardio, there's something in there. If your thing is endurance, something in there. Functional, something in there. There's no element of the programming that's gone behind this that people shouldn't be able to do. And what we didn't want to do, we're very conscious of, is having 1 or 2 star people on the team doing 90% of the work. That's not going to be the case. The way it's going to be programmed is the workload is going to be 100% equal. So let's say if it was a 4-minute workout, each member will be contributing a minute each, as an example. So it will be really, really fun, really, really fair, and it's a complete mix of movements and exercises that, let's just say, not everyone will be familiar with.
Looking forward to it. David, I'm sure that's piqued your appetite for that, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Love it. Get your email in. Right then, I think that's pretty much summed up everything. So obviously thank you for everyone for tuning in to watch it. If you want to get involved in the prize draw for the takeover, get your email in with your favourite bar. Hint, the answer's salted caramel all day long. And then the last bit, if you want to speak to the guys, you can reach out to Dan on dan.thorpe@grenade.com, or they'll be at the winter conference, which is rapidly approaching on the 1st of December. But we'll get this out. We'll get the takeover out of the way first, and then we'll push that one afterwards. So, Dan, Steve, thank you very much for hosting. It's been great. We'll look forward to seeing you on the 8th of October.
Cheers, Rob. Thank you.
Cheers, Rob.
Cheers all.
Thank you. Bye.